One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides unto his ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he pays his way. Oh, legend in the making, day by day.
Man, oh man, what a freaking wonderful hump day morning. You know what I mean? Listen, we out here enjoying ourselves. Good morning to everyone, man. Hopefully everyone's doing fantastic and swell on this beautiful hump day morning. Over here, it's beautiful in northern Alabama. It's totally beautiful right now. But that's besides the point. Listen, we got a lot to discuss today. We got some interesting breaking news. This stuff that I have listed up above is not breaking news, so has nothing to do with the breaking news that we're going to be discussing here in the beginning and somewhat in the middle. But we have, we have the Attorney General Pam Bondi in D.C. She has returned, as well as Trump to participate in Easter service. I'm not really sure what the whole get down is going to be like. I have no idea. And then there's some sort of RFK Jr. event, which I don't know what that is either. So we're going to find out together. I got freaking Lucy hair all over me. And if you guys haven't noticed, we have freaking a whole bunch of emotes for you guys and the members. If you guys have a membership here, you guys got a few freaking emotes to play with now. You can definitely thank Naomi for hooking it up and putting a whole bunch of work into it, man. So good morning to everyone, man. Hopefully you're all doing fantastic. Make sure you guys hit that like button on the way in. It's the #1 metric of all of YouTube. Helps out the show immensely, and it's free. Hitting that subscribe button is also free if you're new here, man. Make sure you guys do that, man. Please. But also, please consider becoming a member, starting only at $2.99 a month. This is how we get to speak the way that we do. We don't have to cater to views to get paid. It's actually you guys. We're 100% funded by you guys in the membership program, man, and I can't thank you guys enough for supporting what I have to do and what I say over here, man. A little side note, make sure you guys follow my Instagram right here, at BallValveTV. Post everything behind the scenes of not only the show, but of my lifestyle, as well as Millennial Food Time. We get down with our bad selves over there. Last but not least, make sure you guys, listen, if every single freaking donation is going to be shouted out, presented live on the show, and of course, I will be recognized. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube brutal 30% cut and have 100% of your money received to me, then we have these platforms scrolling on the bottom of the show. And of course, I'll allow these to just scroll for the remainder of the show. And I, of course, will shout you and your message out. So real quick, to start off the morning, before we had even started, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Straight Jacket sending in $10 saying for dues. Dues paid, cuh. I very much appreciate that, kind sir. Thank you for helping out the show. Let's see. We got Hardwire up in here. Yes, I can rate it. That would be very cool. I didn't know he's going live this morning. We'll definitely do that. We'll consider it. We got Straight Jacket as well as Steve Posey. What's up, my man? We got Allegedly as well as we got Joseph over there up in Canada on the Facebook side saying, good morning, Mr. Ball, Lucy, Breakfast Crew, BNC, and can't forget the haters. Stop the cat.
Stop the cap.
Shit. We got America Uncensored, my bro AU up in here. And yes, make sure you guys hit that like button and listen to Naomi. All right. Just make sure you listen. Check out the new emotes. That's right. That's right. We got all the fun Cash Apps and Venmos and all that stuff Naomi's putting out there. Also, make sure you guys hit that Discord. Majority of us are already in the Discord, but if you guys haven't joined up yet, make sure you guys do. We got the emotes in there too. All of us in the Breakfast Club are in there. We got Rabbit of Chaos. Good morning to you as well. Let's see who else we got in here, man. We got a whole bunch of you legends. We got Lee Lance up in here saying good morning, everyone. Hope everyone has a great hump day. Yes, absolutely. We got Obi Joe. Morning, you all. Saw another club shooting in SoCal. No, I did not see it. I'm gonna have to check that out. Maybe Black Dragons posted a little bit about it. Ever since I got into politics, I've really I don't know if some of you guys may or may not know, I used to report on biker news, on motorcycle club news, all that kind of stuff. And so it's interesting that I don't know these things anymore because I used to be so, into it, so tuned in. Now I'm so tuned into the world, it's hard to keep up with the street side of shit sometimes. We got Beezer the biker, my man. Good morning to you, kind sir. Down there in South Florida, enjoying yourself. It's probably too hot down there right now. So how do I get the new emojis? You already have them. So I'm going to show you for an example on my phone here. Okay, look, see down, like when you're on the chat, see how there's like that little emote face? Hit that emote face. And then my channel, Mike Ball emotes will pop up as the first thing. So there you go. That's how you do it right there. If you guys are members, you already have all the emotes, which is great. Lucy is as fluffy as my cats. Yes, that's true. Very true. She's still skinny, though. Very skinny. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the world's madness, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start off with some breaking news to start off the day, as we always do.
Courtesy of the Associated Press. We are learning.
Okay, so Israeli Defense Minister, troops will remain in Gaza, is the quote. All right, let's go ahead and figure out what's happening.
Israel's defense minister saying today that troops will remain in so-called security zones in the Gaza Strip, Lebanon, and Syria indefinitely. Now, these remarks could further complicate talks with Hamas over a ceasefire and even the hostage release. Israeli forces have taken over more than half of Gaza in a renewed campaign to pressure Hamas to release hostages.
Okay, so just so you guys kind of have a brief understanding of what's happening right now, we have something that is kind of happening, obviously, as it's being reported. So as they were just saying that they're doing this takeover or whatever the case is, what is happening is they basically put Gaza into 4 quadrants, okay? And what their plan is to essentially do, the IDF, is to go in and take over each one of those quadrants and push out the remaining Palestinians into those, other boxes, right? Other quadrants, until there's essentially nothing left. So that's my understanding of how this is going to work. And they are already saying half of Gaza has been taken over. So that means the remaining people in Palestine are in those 2 quadrants, the other half, right? Palestinians, not Palestine, in Gaza. You know what I mean? Anyways, back to this. I just wanted to go ahead and explain that a little bit.
Hostages after Israel ended their ceasefire last month. Israel has also refused to withdraw from some areas in Lebanon following a ceasefire with the Hezbollah militant group last year. It also seized a buffer zone in southern Syria after rebels over.
Yo, we got Brother Mount High up in here. Morning, kind sir. Hopefully you're doing fantastic. Mike, what is your opinion on the guy sent to El Salvador by mistake? I say send him back if he's truly was an error. Yeah, if it was truly an error, then yes, but it's not truly an error. The dude was here illegally at first, but then he ended up marrying a woman here that's an American citizen. But this dude was also one of the dudes for MS-13. So I don't think that he has any rights here. That's the truth be told. We're going to be talking about that today, by the way, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have a show with the Diamond Effect every Wednesday night, and that is the topic of tonight's episode. So we're going to be going into this whole story this evening. So make sure you tune in for that, OB Joe. Good to see you, by the way. We got Todd J saying, let's go, family. Yes, sir. Good to see you, my man. Mount High like button and left-handed tobacco all around. I like that, man. I always like seeing that shit. It gets me all hyped up. He added 2 deportation orders previously. Yeah, see? Exactly. We got Are We Not Men up in here. Good morning to you as well, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's get back into this.
Through President Bashar Assad in December. A lot to discuss and dissect this morning, so we want to bring into the conversation the expert, distinguished lecturer in criminal justice and terrorism, also homeland security with the University of New Haven, Ken Gray. Ken, always a pleasure having you join us on the show. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Janae. Glad to be with you again.
A lot to dissect as we break this down. The Israeli defense minister basically saying troops will remain in Gaza, but also looking at Lebanon and Syria, as we know.
Oh, Carney's calling you motherfuckers out. Stop the show. Man, Carney says 25 watching. We got 19 likes. What the fuck? Make sure you guys hit that like button, man. And good morning to you, kind sir. Carney, good to see you, my man.
Israel not only faces conflict with Hamas, but also the terroristic organizations of Hezbollah and those Yemen Houthi rebels. Set the stage for us, Ken, and provide perspective. A lot of people alarmed by this news. They're like, okay, well, what does this mean for a ceasefire and the hostages still in captivity with Hamas?
Sure. First place, Hamas is currently considering a proposal that the Israelis made concerning the next phase of the agreement with the Hamas. The proposal says that there will be a 45-day ceasefire, discussions of a permanent ceasefire, disarmament of Hamas, and the release of hostages and bodies. And they're supposed to give an answer to that proposal sometime tomorrow. So that'll be interesting. But the reasons for these different security zones that Israel has set up is for different purposes. Inside Gaza Strip, the concern was that Hamas would be rearming themselves and re-entrenching themselves throughout the Gaza Strip. And so Israel wants to make sure that that does not happen. So they have increased their security zone. They've also added in another corridor inside the Gaza Strip. So you have the Netzarim corridor that separates.
Hey, listen, I'm cool with the swear jar. You know what I mean? If I'm getting paid. I'm cool with any type of money jar of some sort. Listen, for instance, if you don't want to hit the like button, it's okay. You don't have to hit the like button. Just send in a couple bucks on the Cash App. You know what I mean? Shit. Pay your way out of it. Pay your way out of the situation, you know? We got Papa Penguin up in here. Good morning, kind sir. Hopefully you're doing fantastic this morning, as well as Evil Rick, kind sir. Good to see you guys. If you guys are members, by the way, make sure you guys are checking your emotes, because there's a whole bunch that got uploaded. So check it out. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it so far.
Gaza into the north part and the south part. You have the Philadelphia corridor that
yeah, we'll go ahead and start that fund right here, right now. You know what I mean? If you guys want to donate, we got the Naomi boob jar going on. So yeah, I don't know if that's for a breast reduction or if that's for, I don't know, because you already got them.
Goes along the fence between the Gaza Strip and Egypt, the Sinai Peninsula, and then you have a strip that runs along the fence line between Gaza Strip and Israel, and there's another one that goes across the top of Gaza Strip and slightly down along the shoreline. And so that is to contain Hamas and to ensure that Hamas does not is able to reestablish themselves there in the Gaza Strip. The security zone inside Lebanon, after exchanges with Hezbollah, Israel pushed Hezbollah out of the area closest to the border. They had been continually launching attacks over into Israel. And so
okay, so let me quickly just bring up a map real quick so that I can show you guys a little bit of what he was talking about there and why this is a big deal. I'm going to type in axis of resistance. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you guys a little something. Oh, this is a terrible picture. Fuck that picture. We need a legitimate good picture, not something that's janky. Okay, this is good. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Give me a second. I'm pulling everything up so you guys can see it. I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to explain this a little bit so you guys get what's going on geopolitically with this bullshit. Okay, so this is the axis of resistance. This is basically all Iranian proxy paid for against Israel, okay? The axis of resistance is absolutely the resistance against Israel. So anyways, we have Israel, which is zoomed in over here on this left side, okay? We have the Gaza Strip down here, all the way down here on the southwest side of Israel on the water side. And then you've got Beirut, Lebanon, which is up here where Hezbollah is, okay? So these two are pinching between Israel. The reason why this is perfect for Hezbollah is because when shit was going down with in Gaza with Hamas, the IDF was essentially all sent to go handle the Gaza Strip, and they can easily go do that. Well, you have Hezbollah up in the north in Lebanon, and they get as close down to the border as possible, and they launch missiles, airstrike, a whole bunch of shit from here, and they launch them into Israel. And they're not really targeting anything too fucking much. I mean, they are, but they're not to the super extent because they're trying to use Hezbollah essentially to break up 50% of the IDF. Okay. So when you have all of the army that's down in Hamas, down there dealing with Hamas in the Gaza Strip, you have the rest that, they're trying to break up the army, essentially, 50-50. And so when you do that, you're weakening them so that they can't defend themselves as good. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to explain that and what is happening here. The reason why you see on this map right now, I believe on this map, formerly part of the axis of resistance, and Syria is not a part of that anymore, which they really are. But it's because Assad got ran off. And now I believe he's still up there with his homeboy, his daddy Putin up there in Russia. So anyways, I just wanted to go ahead and explain that a little bit so you guys can understand why Hezbollah is it's a problem, and it's breaking up the IDF essentially. And that's why they do what they do.
So Hamas, the IDF wanted to make sure that they were not able to use that.
You too, allegedly. Good to see you.
Attacks against Israel, and so they are.
What? What's good, Nate? What's good, Imperius? Hopefully you're doing fantastic this morning.
That territory, which they have cleared Hezbollah from. Finally, the area in Syria, when the push out of the government there occurred, Israel invaded into the area close to Golan Heights to ensure that the new government there of Syria, the Al Qaeda related group, did not start launching attacks into Israel. So they took a security zone there at the bottom part of Syria, and is holding that to ensure that they are safe from this new group that has taken over Syria. Syria has not settled out yet. There are still different factions fighting there. Turkey is also flexing its muscle somewhat. So Israel wants to ensure that they have a...
Yeah, do you think, Papa, do you think that Assad is now going to retire himself, basically, and then hand the reins off or something like that while he lives the luxury life in Moscow? Papa says Assad and his family own more than $30 million in luxury properties in Moscow. I'm sure he's drinking vodka, Mai Tais, in a gold-plated steam room. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding about that. I didn't know that he had $30 million worth of property there, but I figured that he totally would. We got a Cash App, by the way. I got you. Are we not men? He sends in $1 on the Cash App saying, for Mike's breast reduction surgery. Well, hey, I listen, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I appreciate the dollar, kind sir. We got Hardwire 1%er for the 9 months. I've been a member under Hardwire long enough to, what does that say? G-State? What does that mean? Longer under my real name. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. With your other account. I got you. Yes, sir. Well, hey, kind sir. I very much appreciate the 9 months, by the way. I very much appreciate that. Yes, so you're good because you hit that like button. That's right. Making some sandwiches.
Buffer zone that none of that spills over into the Golan Heights.
Ken, thank you so much for that detailed
breakdown. Yeah, we have a
breakdown.
few statements that are coming out. Real quick, before we allow the statements to come through, I got to say hi to my people. We got Dragon Classy up in here saying good morning. Hopefully you're doing fantastic as well. We got 13. Good to see you. That's right. 20 minutes after the hour means it's 4:20 somewhere.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Just had to get it in. You know what I mean? There we go. We're all good. Yes, I do love to explore. That is facts. That is big facts. We got Carney with the 6 months, by the way. Hey, perfect timing while I was hitting this motherfucker. Hey, Carney, thank you so much. Not only for being a member for 6 months, but you're actually an officer position. I don't know if you guys know, there's 3 tiers to the membership. You know, there's prospect, full patch, and officer. And officer is the highest, of course. And so he pays $24.99 a month, man. And I can't thank him enough for supporting the channel like that. Seriously, man. Thank you. Totally worth $1. It is. See, I'm showing you guys it's worth it. That's right, Imperious. If I have to guess, he's probably being pumped for info and contacts by the FSB and SVR. Then they will have him sail off into a sunset of some lakeside. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. All right. Wait, make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, I am. Hold on. We got Noel up in here as well. Good morning to you. Good to see you. It's been a minute, but hopefully all is well. All right, back to this.
And as we further discuss this news alert,
hit that like button, everybody.
From Israel Katz, that's Israel's Minister of Defense, as it relates to humanitarian aid. Basically, he's saying no humanitarian aid to enter Gaza as well. I'm gonna read this quote in full so we can dissect together to help the viewers understand
What's
the
up,
latest
Kel?
developments.
Good morning.
It says, quote, as I mentioned in my announcement, Israel's policy is clear and no humanitarian aid is about to enter Gaza, and preventing humanitarian aid to Gaza is one of the main pressure tools that prevents Hamas from using this measure against the population, in addition to the other steps that Israel is taking. And it is a shame that there are those who try to mislead. In the current reality, no one is prepared to bring in any such aid. I emphasized that in relation to the future, the mechanism for using civil society must be built as a tool that will allow Hamas access to the issue in the future, end quote. Again, that's from Israel's Minister of Defense, Israel Katz. A lot to dissect here as well, Ken, especially since this humanitarian crisis far existed in the Gaza area before October 7th even happened. Obviously, it's gotten worse. We've seen innocent Palestinians displaced in those tent camps. Now knowing that no humanitarian aid will enter Gaza, how will these innocent people who have nothing to do with Hamas get basic necessities such as food and water?
Yeah, that is a real concern. The thing is that Hamas has been controlling the food deliveries that have been made throughout this conflict with Israel. That food trucks would come in, Hamas would control who actually.
Okay, so real quick, I think all of you guys already know this ordeal, but even the UN had to stop sending in aid because it keeps getting jacked by fucking Hamas. So all the aid that's coming in is being jacked by terrorists and terrorist organizations and then sold back to their own people who was originally paid and already delivered for them. And then they sell it back to their own people. Now, remind you, what's crazy about it is they voted in these fucking terrorists in a democracy, they actually voted these people in. And look how they get treated. One cigarette in Gaza is $10. Not one pack, one cigarette. That's how fucked up it is. So even the UN, who's biased towards Israel, totally biased against them, they even had to stop sending in fucking stores and a whole bunch of food and aid and all that shit because it kept getting jacked. Anyways, back to this.
Actually receive that. And so Israel is trying to stop Hamas from being able to control those food deliveries. That being said, humanitarian aid, refusal of allowing humanitarian aid into an area that has no farmlands, no ability to feed itself. I'm sure the UN will have something to say about that because the people, the Palestinians there, have no way to support themselves without humanitarian.
That's right. Hardwire put in the GoFundMe, by the way. If you guys don't know already, which I'm sure you guys do, 4th of July weekend, we are doing a badass barbecue get together here at the Ball Ranch. You know what I mean? And it's going to be a great ass time, but it's going to cost a lot of money. So if you guys want to help out a little bit, even a couple bucks, man, it helps. It all adds up. You know what I mean? But it's, for instance, for booze, for food, if we make enough money on there, then of course I would love to, anybody that comes out of state or whatever, of course, I would love to be able to put them in a hotel. But there has to be enough money in there for that kind of shit to happen. So hotel kind of stuff may be a little too far out there, to be able to pull off money wise, but, yeah, man, it's going to help a lot. We got Frederick Frame up in here. Good morning to you as well, man. Hopefully you're doing fantastic. Good to see you.
Aid coming in to help sustain them.
Yeah, Ken, as you mentioned, Hamas pretty much being a stronghold of the aid. It reminds me a few months back when I was working on the weekends and you and I saw in real time the pictures that Israeli Defense Forces presented to the media where you saw Hamas come out of the tunnels with full bellies as if they just had a full.
Thank you, brother SNS. I appreciate that. Good morning to you.
Meal, learning that they actually took that aid that you mentioned from the innocent Palestinians in the area. We're also looking at UNRWA this morning. If we look back, there were concerns about was UNRWA really presenting the aid to the innocent population in Gaza.
Northern Alabama. If you ever look, basically I'm 45 minutes north of Birmingham. 50 minutes. I mean, I'm in a town called Coleman, Alabama. It's fucking awesome here.
They were receiving money to do so for.
Yeah. Some of the relief workers that were there.
Yeah, there's only a couple of people that I'm allowing to sleep on my fucking couch.
Were certainly siding with Hamas. And so, this is difficult when the people that are distributing the food, getting the food into the area is taking sides there with Hamas. It makes it very hard.
Oh, shit. Let me check. My bad. Shit. We got Tiffany coming in with the $2, by the way, saying Tiffany and Lee dues. Yes, dues paid. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Tiffany. I very much appreciate that. Listen, we're bringing back the dollar dues. You know what I mean? We got dollar dues up in here, man. We got Brian up in here saying good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, kind sir. Hopefully you're enjoying your beautiful Wednesday morning. You know what I mean? Or take it out in singles and stuff them in Mike Ball's G-string. Yeah, that sounds right. I'll take it.
Emotional damage.
$20 is $20. You know what I mean? Just saying. Not $1. I need a $20 minimum, A little over a 10-hour drive for, yep. And you did make that drive already. When I first moved here, you were one of the first people to come out and visit me over here, man. It was awesome. And we got to experience a whole bunch of shit, experience a little bit of Alabama, Huntsville, and all that. Check out the Rockets because they have a big space program here, as you guys know. When that whole thing regarding way back in the day, after World War II, whatever, they brought a whole bunch of people from Germany. They brought a whole bunch of people, all these different, I don't know if they were scientists or whatever, engineers, all this crap. And they were basically housed here in Huntsville, Alabama, they're about 45 minutes north of me. We went and checked out their space program, all that shit. It's amazing over there. But yes, sir. Hey, I very much appreciate the dues paid, by the way. We got Glare 1%er saying, morning all. Hopefully you're doing well. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Hopefully you're doing good, as well as Cowboy. Hell yeah, I just got back in the office in time for a Mike Ball stream. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. All right, back to the chaos.
Be able to supply goods to the Palestinians who are not Hamas. But, Israel may try to stop humanitarian aid from getting in there for a short period of time, but they're going to have to allow it to get into the area eventually because the Gaza cannot support itself without it. There is not
yes, that is what it was called, Project Paperclip. Correct, Beezer.
enough food there in Gaza to support the Palestinians. They don't have any farmlands. They don't have
yes,
any way.
they were Nazis. They were a whole bunch of crazy individuals, but they happen to know all the knowledge on this shit. So.
to fish. They just do not have the ability to support themselves.
Ken, I want to get back to these security zones, the topic we were first discussing when we began this interview. People wanting to know, what do you think Iran's response will be? Obviously, we know Iran is pretty much the puppet.
Man, here we go. And yeah, they are the puppet master.
Behind
Called that shit.
Many of these terroristic organizations. And after Iran hears that, okay, Israeli troops are not leaving these areas, what do you think they will do?
Well, they've been unsuccessful in displacing IDF from the Gaza Strip.
No, I don't think they were prisoners. I think they were paid to do that, like to come over here and do their whole thing. Like they ended up, I forget how the exact story goes. I'm just trying to recount a little bit. But I do believe that there was like even like faking of passports that the government helped them with, and like doing a whole bunch of I forget what the whole ordeal was, but yeah, it was a big ordeal. Glare 1%er comes in with the 5 spot, by the way, says work's been crazy trying to finalize this building and finish punch list items. Yes, sir. Hey, Glare, very much appreciate the 5 spot, by the way. Yes, sir. Very much appreciate the patronage to the channel. Sincerely. We got Briarwolf, man. Good to see you. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Hopefully you're doing fantastic as well. About the guys that we brought over in Germany, those scientists and engineers and all that. I thought that's what you're referring to. They were recruited as opposed to being punished. Exactly. That's what I was getting at. Let's see. We got extra surprise up in here. Big baller, what's up? Kind sir, good morning.
Despite the attempt to use all their proxies. The Houthis, by the way, the U.S. conducted more attacks on the Houthi positions here. And so the Houthis are incapable of making any difference here. Hezbollah is in great disarray. Hamas, of course, is on its hind legs, and the other forces that are proxies there are unable to do anything in this area also. So, Israel has really turned this around from when on October 7th, they seemed to be the one that was being attacked from all sides.
They were.
Instead, IDF has been able to handle most of these groups, making sure that they are protecting Israel.
Oh, they've pretty much handled everything.
As far as Iran's overall plans against us, right now, Iran is desperately trying to keep Israel from attacking them because of Iran's movement towards a nuclear weapon. The United States has been negotiating with Iran. They've had one successful meeting. Another one is supposed to occur this weekend, trying to come up with some type of proposal that is acceptable to both sides to limit Iran in their development of a nuclear.
Yeah, that's basically the only care in the world right there, is as long as they don't essentially obtain or create any nuclear war or nukes themselves. They're not allowed to have any nukes, as you guys know.
If that is not successful, President Trump is likely to tell the Israelis, we've got your back. take care of this matter and allow them to attack Iran. There are 15
Damn, Orland, 40 hours, man. I would definitely take a plane for that.
different nuclear sites, 14 or 15 different nuclear sites, many of which are within mountain areas, inside the mountains. And so it would not be an easy airstrike to be able to take away Iran's capability of building a nuclear weapon.
Definitely let Duke know that I say what's up, and hopefully he's doing well, man.
Nonetheless, a nuclear weapon is an existential threat to Israel, because as soon as Iran develops one, Iran is likely to use it against.
That's right. Make sure you guys hit that like button so that Iran doesn't create a nuke. Hit that like button. You know what I mean? Yes, I will check it right now. Thank you for that.
Israel. And so, again, that negotiation, Iran trying to have the United States back away from this maximum effort towards containing Iran and shutting off any flow of goods and money into Iran is taking its toll, and Iran is sitting down with the United States in preliminary talks.
Our U.S. assets are in Bagram. Is that what it is? I'm gonna have to look what that is or what city. I don't even know what Bagram is. Where is that at, by the way? Where is that? What country?
And so we will see how that goes.
We will definitely keep a watchful eye. Ken Gray, always a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for your detailed breakdown and perspective on this breaking news alert. I hope you have a great day.
The only way that you can do that, OB Joe, is with insane intelligence. I mean, they're the only people I know that can create basically an exploding bomb in pagers and cell phones or whatnot that were made 10 years previous. By the way, it was proven that these were actually created by the manufacturer of these pagers or whatever. It was found out that the IDF got the actual people that create that pager to implant the bombs in them. Like when you've got that kind of power and then you sat on those for 10 years before you used them, holy shit, you guys were ready for extreme warfare. Like that shit is some next level. Like that's when the light bulb turned on for me. I was like, wow, that is in fucking insane. You know what I mean? All right, back to this.
Rest of your day.
Thank you.
As we are discussing the Middle East, I want to give you a live look at the southern Israel-Gaza border here at 6:11 on the East Coast. We're going to step aside for a quick 2-minute commercial break. Our first.
All right, so let's go ahead and skip ahead. We got a little bit more breaking news. We have a few things, actually. So Maldives bars travelers with Israeli passports over Gaza war. I don't even know what the hell that means. Basically bans when they bar people saying they can't come, whatever. Let's see what's being said here. Afghanistan, old U.S. Air Base. Got you. Appreciate the clarification on that. Sorry for my lack of knowledge on that, but I do appreciate, because between me and everyone in here, man, we know every fucking thing. It's true. Biden had the botch withdrawal. Yes, that makes sense.
From Fox, as we further discuss conflict in the Middle East, we do have more breaking news to share with you about a popular tourist destination. The Associated Press reporting this Wednesday morning, the Maldives has changed its immigration law.
I called it Maldives. Maldives.
Bar people from entering the country with Israeli passports. We're learning this is to show outrage over the war in Gaza. The amendment was passed by Parliament Monday and approved by the president of the Maldives Tuesday. This according to a statement from the president's office. The Maldives Immigration Service clarified that Israeli citizens who have a second passport would be able to enter the country. The cabinet took the decision nearly a year ago, but the government did not formalize it until this week. In a statement provided to the Associated Press, it says, quote, "The ratification reflects the government's firm stance in response."
If you guys haven't joined that Discord link yet, make sure you guys do. Majority of you guys, like I would say, honestly, probably 95% of you guys in the Breakfast Club are already in it. This is where we hang out and we continue the conversation after the show. And guess what? That shit goes all night long. It's awesome. So make sure you guys hit that Discord link and hit that like button.
Continuing atrocities and ongoing acts of genocide committed by Israel against the Palestinian people, end quote. Maldives is a tiny archipelago state south of India, known as a high-end tourist destination. It's predominantly a Sunni Muslim nation where preaching and practicing other faiths is legally banned. According to the latest available immigration statistics, 59 people with Israeli passports entered the Maldives in February. This is a developing story, so we'll continue to let you know the latest developments right here on Live Now from Fox.
It's true, Hardwire.
As mentioned at the top of our broadcast, we are away.
Okay, I could give two fucks about what the EU Parliament's going to be doing. EU Parliament International Trade Committee holds new conference. Oh, fucking crazy. While you guys all sit there on your cell phones and shit and get paid to do nothing and bitch about fucking nothing. Let's go ahead and move it on over. We got a little bit a discussion about this dude that was quote unquote mistakenly deported to El Salvador. So there's a little bit of information on that this morning. I have no idea what is going to be said. But let's go ahead and figure it out. I believe that there is some Democrat, I don't know what position the dude has. He's some sort of representative, okay? And he's actually going to El Salvador this morning to try to bring that dude back like a total fucking idiot. Anyways, back to this. We'll figure it out. Be safe out there, LB Joe. What's taking these guys so long? Run it. There we go.
6:42 here on the East Coast, and welcome back to Live Now from Fox. We continue to follow this developing story. The wife of Kilmer Abrego Garcia continues to plead for his return to the U.S., the story making headlines across the country. Well, this morning, one senator is on a plane heading to El Salvador.
So he's a senator, Democrat senator,
to try and intervene on Garcia's behalf. Yesterday, a judge ordered the Department of Justice to move quickly, despite claims by the Trump administration that the issue was out of their hands. Right now, we want to head out and check in with Fox 5 DC's Melanie Onwick. She joins us live.
Yeah, not only that, Mark, but he was also an alleged gang member, I believe MS-13, as well as the dude already had 2 previous deportation notices that prior to his marriage of an American woman.
At the international airport with the very latest. Melanie, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So it has now been 35 days since Kilmer Abrego Garcia, a father of 3 from Beltsville, Maryland, has seen his family. He's been in custody in that maximum security prison in El Salvador. This morning, Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen boarded a flight to El Salvador to see what he can do to...
Exactly, Carney. Ding, ding, ding. Yep.
Perhaps secure his release. Here's what the senator told us when he got here to the airport.
My overall purpose here is to...
play politics. That's what my overall purpose is because I need to play politics right now, and this will make me extremely party in the Democratic Party. Did I just nail it?
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
You're not doing it because you give a shit about humanity? No, that's not why. You got your own agenda. You got your own politics. And you know that this is going to be good for your campaign type shit. That's just the way of the road.
The signal that we are not going to stop fighting for his return.
Yeah, I think it's because I just lost a little bit of internet. It's just now coming back around. I don't know why it does that once in a while. Yes, you too, sir. Mount High. Always good to see you, man. Much love, honor, respect to you as well. Who needs jokes when you got this goofy looking? Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I'm all for deporting illegals and securing the border, but we're supposed to be a nation of laws. We don't want to go down a path of executive and judicial at each other's throats. Yes, that is true. And that's essentially what's happening right now. His overall purpose is little South American boys. That's funny, dude.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, it was my end, I believe. All right, let me know if it's synced back up.
Until he is actually released. I may be the first senator or first member of Congress to go down to El Salvador, but people are going to keep on coming until he comes home.
Gay.
Now, the senator expects to be in San
Why are you gay? You are gay.
Salvador at least a few days to try to convince the government of El Salvador that it's in their best interest to release Abrego Garcia from that jail and let the legal process play out in the United States. In federal court in Greenbelt, Maryland yesterday, Judge Paulison has told attorneys to cancel their vacations and appointments, be prepared to show their work as to what, if anything, the government has done to comply with her order. The Supreme Court upheld her ruling that the government must facilitate Kilmer Abrego Garcia's return to the United States.
That's right. You know the rules.
So he can be afforded due process. Justice Department attorneys are arguing that facilitating.
Yeah, no fucking kidding, by the way, Provo. Now, here's the problem is the left can't argue the other criminals that got deported. This is the one case that they can fucking stick their guns to and try to prove a point, right, Provo? But this is the sick, demented mind of the left. Listen, we got a senator, Democrat from Maryland, that is where he got deported from. This dude, the senator, is actually going to El Salvador to try to bail this guy out. Like, what are we doing? See this, and this dude, the senator, he knew that, man, I could totally use this for my advantage. I know I'll become the legendary Democratic senator that stood up for against Donald Trump's deportations and that's what is happening right now, which is unfortunate. But Provo, good to see you, by the way. Fantastic show you had last night. If you guys haven't already subscribed to Brother Provo, go over there, man. He's got a great show, always very entertaining, and gracing us with his presence is awesome, man. Wish the folks in Congress would keep this kind of energy for guys like Robert Levinson. But hey, instead of looking out for America's security, let's focus on illegals. Yeah, no kidding with that, dude. If he comes back, they're going to deport him somewhere else. Yeah, well, they probably fucking should. Just leave him there. I don't know why this is even an issue. I know. Well, this is the left causing an issue. We got Joker MCR up in the building saying, what's up, Mike? And everyone, much love and respect, my man. Good to see you as always. And yes, that is a valid question. Can we just deport all of Congress? That'd be great. The left wants to waste tons of taxpayer dollars. Yes, that is also a fact. This dude was a woman beater and a child trafficker. Good riddance to him. Can't believe the media defends this kind of person. Yes, not only the media is going to defend it, but the radical left and all of the left basically are going to defend this based off of not because of him and his own actions, but because it is opposing to Donald Trump. That's why. It's all Joe Biden's and the Democrats' illegal moves. Bring them to justice. Yes, sir. Provo sending in a 2-spot, by the way. Send 07 to everyone in chat. Yes, sir, Provo. Thank you so much for the donation. Kind sir. Very much appreciate that. Finally working at a store where I can listen to you and won't get in trouble. Good. Yeah, make sure we ain't getting in trouble with management. You know what I mean? They got to keep us busy while they build a case against Trump for insider trading like they did to Martha Stewart. Facts, by the way. All right, let's go ahead and get back into the madness.
That's what they're doing by not blocking his return and say they're required to do nothing more. Sin has told attorneys for the Department of Justice she has no tolerance for gamesmanship or grandstanding. The next step would be to allow Abrego Garcia's attorneys to ask questions of the Department of Justice in person and on paper. And apparently the government would be required to respond. Now, Senator Van Hollen is on his plans. He's planning to.
Yeah, truly, I believe that this is grasping at straws to the highest extent. You know what I mean? You're really grasping at straws here. If this were any other, like if Obama had deported this guy or Biden, the left wouldn't give a shit. They wouldn't fucking care. This wouldn't even be a conversation right now.
Meet with government officials and some humanitarian organizations as well.
I was about to say, if you're not management, I'll become management. And then, but hey, you can't beat the owners when they're looking down at, over your shoulder type shit. Hey, I get that.
He does not yet have 100% confirmation that he'll be able to get into the Sikhat prison. But again, he is going to do his best. He does plan to be there for a few days.
Fox 5 DC's Melanie Onwick, thank you so much for keeping us up to date as this story develops. You have a great rest of your day.
Yes, you too.
And staying on this topic, take a look at your screen. This is the very latest from Senator Chris Van Hollen's X page. He put on there this morning, I'm about to board my flight to El Salvador, where I hope to meet with senior government officials to discuss the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I also hope to see Kilmar and check on his condition and remind him that we won't stop fighting.
So you're just going over there just to have a conversation with dude, essentially. You're not going over there. It's not like you have any fucking jurisdiction over there. It's not like you have any pull. They look at you as just another fucking stupid American. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to look at him and be like, shut up, white dude. You know what I mean? For real. I don't know. This whole thing right here. What a fucking put on show. Horse and pony show right here, dude.
Until he's home. And you do see on the left of your screen how there are video remarks from Senator Chris Van Hollen this morning while at the airport. I want to play those remarks for you now.
They are, OB Joe. It's sad.
Here at the airport, I'm about to board my flight for San Salvador. The goal of this mission is to let the Trump administration, to let the government of El Salvador know that we are going to keep fighting to bring.
Oh, so you have to go over there to let them know you're going to keep fighting?
Abrego Garcia home.
And do what? Please let our boy out.
Until he returns to his family. I hope to meet with representatives.
Wait. What's stopping his family from going over there to El Salvador? What are you talking about? We can bring the families back and all that shit. Just send off the family to go to El Salvador. I don't know what the limitation is.
Of the government. I hope to have the chance to actually see Kilmar and see what his condition is. But we are going to keep fighting.
Totally. And you know what, Steve? Later on, when they're doing their election cycle and all that shit, he's going to campaign on a lot of this.
Because this is a miscarriage of justice.
What's up, Chairman of the Board? We got Anson Knowles up in here. The man, the myth, the legend. By the way, if you guys haven't gone over and checked out Chairman of the Board, make sure you guys go over to his YouTube channel as well. He has recently started, he used to be a radio kind of podcast, political talk show or something like that. Sorry if I'm botching that, which I am. But dude breaks down insane debate styles and tactics, and he does a lot of debate reviews and explaining what is happening, which is fantastic. He definitely talks in a way that allows me to fully understand what is being said. And I've learned a lot from listening to dude. So make sure you guys go check out Chairman of the Board, man. Another Bama's finest.
9-0 that he was illegally.
Hell yeah, Provo. You'll love him over there, dude.
Taken
Great dude.
Out of the country and put in a prison in El Salvador. And this is about due process. This is about rule of law. What bullies do is they begin by picking on the most vulnerable. But if we get rid of the rule of law, due process, the United States, it's a short road from there to tyranny.
Yep. Trust me, with that, the being an entire blue state, basically. I mean, let me just say a hot thing real quick. 2024 showed that we didn't have any blue states. We only have blue cities. Just keep on shrinking that size down. You know what I mean? With more of, where we have people like what I'm doing right here, right now, and being able to explain what the actual truth is. behind all of the antics that is happening on both sides, because I don't just call out the left, I call out the right all the time. I'm infamous for it. That's what I do. If I truly don't believe in, I'm not going to stick to party lines type shit. Absolutely not. But yeah, it's unfortunate because he will get reelected, especially if he runs again, which, that's why he's even doing this in the first place, is to get himself reelected. Politics is a dirty game, man.
Here at the airport, I'm about to.
All right. So again, that was the very latest from Senator Chris Van Hollen. He posted this on his X page, formerly known as Twitter, this Wednesday morning, as he boards his flight to El Salvador, where he says, quote, "I hope to meet with senior government officials to discuss the return of Kilmer Abrego Garcia."
Yeah, he texted me SNS, or he didn't text me. He put it in the Discord that unfortunately he's going to be doing some physical therapy today, and he won't be able to make the show, which he was all bummed out about. I'm like, dude, go kill it. Go have a great ass time, man. Go get yourself up and walking again.
Continue to follow this developing story right here on Live Now from Fox. 6:48 is the time. We're going to take our final 2-minute commercial break.
That's right, Warland. Okay, so no 2-minute break for us. We're going to skip ahead because I believe we have one more. Yeah, we have one more breaking story here that I want to show you guys. This one's a little interesting. I didn't really see this one coming. Going to be really honest about that. All right, come on. Come on. Man, how long you guys got to do that for?
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Gina Francine. Right now, we want to turn to some breaking news for you. Take a look at your screen. This just in, courtesy of our content partners over at the Associated Press. The Supreme Court out in the...
Look at this. The Supreme Court, the UK Supreme Court rules a woman is, quote, someone born biologically female. Hey, the UK actually did something that is totally logical. That is right. A rule to a woman is someone born biologically female. Congratulations, UK. You actually did something for once. We got brother Bob up in here, Biker News Canada, up there in Canada, kind sir, saying, morning, Mike in chat. Thanks for dropping in on me last night. Yes, sir. Hey, man, it's always great to hang out with you, man. Always an honor to be able to hang out with the brothers. You know what I mean? That's right. You don't bite that hard. Yeah, I mean, I can handle it. Yeah, that's right. WUK for once. That's funny. That is a win. I can't believe they did that.
UK ruling this Wednesday that the UK equalities law defines a woman as someone born biologically female, rejecting the Scottish government's argument that it includes transgender women.
No, it don't, you idiots. Did she say Scottish?
The Scottish government.
Yeah, the Scottish government. Bunch of commies over there as well.
Oh, shit. An argument that it includes transgender women. Justice Patrick Hodge said 5 judges at the court had ruled unanimously that the terms woman and sex in the Equality Act refer to a biological woman and biological sex. The ruling means that a transgender person with a certificate that recognizes them as female should not be considered a woman for equality purposes. But the court added that its ruling does not remove protection from trans people who are protected from discrimination on the ground of gender.
Yeah, no, I don't think that you should be like, oh, now all of a sudden you can like hurt them or something like that. Of course not. Of course not. They have human rights. Absolutely. We're just not delusional. If you're a man, you're a man. I don't care what you think you are. I don't care what you feel like you are. We go by logic here. Come on, man. It's very, very simple. And I don't even understand why it was such a fight for the last 15 years. All right, back to this.
Reassignment. The case stems from a 2018 law passed by the Scottish Parliament stating that there should be a 50% female representation on the boards of Scottish public bodies.
So DEI.
Transgender women were to be included in meeting the quota. Feminist groups that had challenged the Scottish government held Wednesday's ruling as a, quote, major
Now, that's a huge W. So, OB Joe, I don't know if you know, but I'm going to be running for the federal house, right? Representing Alabama. And one of the things I want to do here in Alabama, one of my policies that I want to implement is I want to have, and it's very, very, very hard to do with public schools. You can do it with private schools pretty easily, but when it comes to the public system, I would like every single public school to have armed security. You know what I mean? Someone that's licensed to be able to, hold it down. This is my argument. We, as Americans, as humans, this is something that is not just a phenomenon here in the United States. Everything that we care about, we secure with guns. Money, secured with guns. Government, buildings, all this shit covered with guns. Extremely high personnel, covered with guns. But our kids, fuck them. We don't need to secure that. We have, big ass vaults of gold and shit like that. Guys with ARs ready to rock and roll. But our own kids, nah. We don't give a fuck enough, huh? You know what I mean?
Oh shit! Oh shit!
So that is something I want to implement, is having armed security at all public schools, all schools.
They provided a quote saying, "The court has given us the right answer. The protected characteristic of sex, male and female, refers to reality, not to paperwork." End quote. For Women Scotland, the women's rights group that brought the legal challenge, argued that the Scottish officials' redefinition of a woman went beyond Parliament's powers. But Scottish officials then issued new guidance stating that the definition of woman included someone with a gender recognition certificate. Of course, the group said the outcome of the case could have consequences in Scotland, England, and Wales for sex-based rights, as well as single-sex facilities.
See, like these buildings and shit, even in the UK, they're going to be guarded with fucking, if they're having like some big parliament discussion or the Supreme Court, blah, blah, that's all secure with guns over there in the UK as well.
Such as toilets, hospital wards, and prison. So if you're just now tuning into Live Now,
fuck around, find out.
Following this breaking news alert, it takes us out to the UK. As AP reports this Wednesday morning, UK Supreme Court rules that equalities law defines a woman as someone born biologically female. As we continue to follow this breaking news alert, we do have the latest remarks from the UK Supreme Court this Wednesday.
Ooh.
Let's head inside and listen in.
I want to hear that. I just want to hear brief remarks. I don't want to hear like a whole get down.
Judgment in the matter of and has struck.
When gravely ill children are being treated in hospital, disagreements sometimes arise between the parents and the clinicians treating the child as to whether life-sustaining treatment should continue to be provided. In circumstances of that kind, the NHS Trust may apply to the court for a declaration that it is in the best interests of the child.
Make sure you guys hit that like button for biological female, someone born a biological female, as they call it over there, as the rules in the UK now. Big enthusiastic thumbs up on that. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys hit that like button.
But the treatment should be withdrawn. In some well-known cases in recent years, the reporting of proceedings of that kind resulted... Exactly, Bob. Because they don't trust their own people to be able to, have any of that. Only their own people, the government, can have that kind of shit, right? In the clinical team treating the child being vilified on social media and abuse being shouted at staff outside the hospital concerned. In order to guard against that problem, the practice has developed that NHS trusts, when they apply...
Well, sometimes when things become so radicalized, Papa, you have to get to this point because it's being pushed so fucking hard from the opposition. And we go, well, we have to set the record straight then. If you guys are this retarded, we're going to have to set the record straight then. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, what are we going to do next? We might actually have a case ruling on whether gravity is a thing or not. Or if we landed on the moon in the United States type shit. Like, we got Miss Lotus up in here saying, good afternoon. Great to see you, by the way. It's still morning time for me, but early afternoon for you. Good to see you. We got Charlotte as well up in here. Good morning to you. Well, maybe good afternoon to you as well. Hopefully you guys are all doing fantastic.
For a declaration of this kind.
I just want to cover this. Let me see how much longer Oh, he goes for a fucking minute. They all do. Oh, boy.
The court rejects the submission that for Section 9.3 to operate, it is necessary to find an express statutory provision disapplying Section 9.1, or that the other statute by necessarily implication.
Okay, enough of that. We got our last breaking news story, guys. Okay, we're gonna end off strong. We got a big breaking news ordeal going on in California. Somehow, some way, Gavin Newsom needed to, say something about Trump's tariffs. So let's go ahead and get into the madness.
7:54 here on the East Coast. Welcome back to Live Now from Fox, and good morning to you. If you're just now tuning in, I'm Jeanne Francine. Right now, we are following some
Yeah, it's morning time for me too, Charlotte.
news as it relates to the Trump presidency. I want you to take a good look at your screen. The latest information just coming into our newsroom from Fox content partners out in Sacramento. They report California Governor Gavin Newsom said this Wednesday that his state will file a lawsuit challenging President Donald Trump's authority.
That is the plan, Mark. If I don't do it in 2026, which I plan on doing 2026, but if not, then 2028. You know what I mean? But it's all about how politically it's hard to get involved in all of that. And yes, I am going to be running. Absolutely. Just it may be 2026. I was hoping it could be for midterms. That's what I really wanted to do. But if I have to do it in a different administration, I have no problem doing that either. You know, it's all about serving your people.
Authority to impose sweeping tariffs that have set off a global trade war. The suit will argue that Trump's use of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to impose tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China.
Yeah, telling a one-legged man to run is savagery, by the way.
10% tariff on all imports is unlawful. The act enables a president to freeze and block transactions in response to foreign threats. The lawsuit, which will be filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California,
thank you, Mark,
will also argue that
I really, really appreciate that, man. Like, I take that to the highest honor, man. Thank you for that.
Such tariffs requires approval from Congress. Newsom's office saying this in a news release. President Donald Trump has offered many justifications for increasing tariffs, including that they are designed to spur U.S. manufacturing and stop the flow of illicit fentanyl into the country. California's move follows rapidly changing tariff plans by the Trump administration. Newsom says the tariffs in effect have resulted in inflated costs and billions of dollars in damage in California, which has the largest economy along U.S. states and is a massive exporter. We actually have
cool, but I want to see the statement.
The very latest quote from Governor Newsom, putting it there on your screen right now.
President Trump's unlawful tariffs are reckoning chaos on California families, businesses, and our economy, driving up prices and threatening jobs, he said in a statement. Quote, "We're standing up for American families who can't afford to let the chaos continue." This fucking dude.
Emotional damage.
Now, this as California is set to file that lawsuit against President Donald Trump's tariffs. Governor Gavin Newsom saying, quote, he's General Rob Bonta later today in the farm-rich Central Valley. California is a farming powerhouse with many of the nuts, fruits, and vegetables the state grows destined for
that was Kid Rock, by the way.
countries. The state will ask the court to immediately block the tariffs. The announcement comes days after Newsom asked countries to exempt California exports from retaliatory tariffs. No deals have yet to be announced. Now, Austin is a core member there, so we continue to follow this latest news, this coming in from Fox content partners out in California, also in Austin, Texas.
So what we're going to do is we're going to be returning back to, I'm sure we're going to get a lot more of this breaking news, or, well, follow-ups and updates on that breaking news that we just discussed right there regarding Gavin Newsom suing Trump over there. So I'm sure there's going to be lots of follow up on that. We don't need to go and assess the situation for an hour. We'll definitely get updates as we go throughout the week and the weeks prior or following. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys stick around for the raid. We're going to be raiding Andrew Wilson. He's live right now, so we might as well send our amazing people over there. listen, man, I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough for being here in the first place. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you guys decided to be right here with me, man. So big W's to you guys. Also, I cannot thank you guys enough for the amount of patronage and help that you guys have done financially to the show, becoming members, donating, all these things, man. It goes extremely long way. So with that being said, we'll be back tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And that we're going to be talking about that man that was deported mistakenly. And we're going to be discussing, we have, I believe, one person on the side of saying that they should not be deported. And we have, I believe, two saying that, no, he should be deported. So, well, that's going to be a great conversation this beautiful evening. Until then, if I don't see you guys on the Diamond Effect, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for more of the World's Madness, as we always do, Monday through Saturday. Much love, honor, and respect to everybody, and God bless.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burns.